Alex, I have a lot. I want to say something, and I've been talking about this for years. My friend Andrew Breitbart and I, and you were to be part of that show, as you remember. In fact, we recorded a segment for Fox. Andrew Breitbart was going to do a segment. I'm talking Breitbart and all these other things that he started. You know, the Ariana Huffingtons, all these other people that he puffed up on the internet. And you know, you would watch Glenn Beck, and all he was doing was reading Breitbart. But Breitbart and I were working on a TV show, and he was going to do a thing on Fox News Channel, and he was going to do a segment called Future News, and he told me that he had video that would bring down Obama, blah, blah, blah. Hours before he was going to release it on my show and nationwide, worldwide, he was found dead. And they announced it immediately. Alex, I've been doing this since 1984, 85. Okay, I've been doing this for a while. I've never seen anything like it. Michael Jackson, whoever, Amy Winehouse. Don't jump to conclusions. We don't know if it was drugs. Wait a minute, what? I've never seen anything like it. When Andrew Breitbart died, they said dead of natural causes. Within 30 minutes of him being announced that he was dead, they said natural causes. And now with Scalia, they announced, hey, he's dead, natural causes, no autopsy. Yeah. Listen. And then people like me and you demanded an autopsy of Andrew Breitbart. And what happened? As the coroner was ready to give the notice, information, he was murdered. So I just find it interesting that as this artist, Prince, and I didn't love all of his music, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not really my genre, but 57 years old, he's talking about chemtrails, he's talking about how they're manipulating our water, how they're turning us into weaklings, how they're numbing us, how they're dumbing us down, how they're turning us into sheeple. Isn't it interesting that as he comes public, as he shows up on my studio and talks to me and mentions he gets a lot of his information from Alex Jones, as all of this is happening, he's dead. Wow. Some people are telling me they think he was murdered. I don't know. Well, I don't know how much of this I can get into, and why don't you talk about what Billy's said on your show, so I don't, his memories all blur what he's told me privately. Well, my big surprise was I believed I was going to, Prince came on my show, very quiet, very diminutive, a very intelligent guy, very smart. These guys, they're, the image is created, you understand. I mean, I also interviewed Kurt Cobain, and, he was an artist, he was tortured, he was all this, It was all by design. It was an act. It was an act. He wanted to sell records. He created that image to sell records, that image of not caring. Prince, it was an act. It was an act. He borrowed it from James Brown and Little Richard and others, but a great artist. I've been invited, not just to speak at Oxford and Cambridge, and then I was told, oh, you've been offered that? That's really the cover for this by a high-level person in Hollywood, and then sure enough, it did happen. I've been invited to basically go over and eyes wide shut type stuff with real elites, and the listeners are hearing this and they're going, oh yeah, really? No, folks, this is real. That's why Vivian Kubrick, who was the protege of Stanley Kubrick, gave me the only interview she's given in 15 years about all this, and she knew the stuff I'd been through. It was, Leanne was there, we were at dinner, and she literally got down on her knees in front of me. And I was like, what are you doing? She goes, no, listen. She started telling me all this stuff that no one would know. And I can't even get into it all. I just wish the public knew what was really going on. Alex, I want to tell you something. Eyes Wide Shut, brother. That movie reveals a lot. Eyes Wide Shut by Kubrick. It's an awful movie, but these parties do happen. Prince talked about these parties, not just with me, but elsewhere. And are you willing? And look, there's a great drug that my listeners have and your listeners have. And Alex, hell, you had it and I had it. And that drug is if we only had fame or we only had money or we only had this or that, we'd be happy. And I know, Alex, I know the battles that you've had in your life. But this drug we have sold people, this idea that fame will cure them. And so I understand, and people are literally willing to sell their soul for it. You and I haven't. And I want to tell you that Billy hasn't. There's a reason. How about this guy that fills stadiums and sells millions and millions of recordings, and yet they press lesser stars than Billy? Why doesn't he promote it? Because he wouldn't sell out. Why did Prince disappear? Because he wouldn't sell. He wouldn't give them his master tapes. I was talking to just even Mark Dice when they were getting ready to give him a national TV show. Oh, he's awesome. With some of the folks from Motley Crue. He's in the meeting, and the head producer, not with Motley Crue, but with his big TV network, goes, listen, Mark, what's wrong with the devil? What's wrong with Satan? And starts praising Lucifer and asking him to join with Lucifer. And the guy was in a religious experience trying to sell him on it. And people just don't understand. They don't know what happens next level. And you've got all these shows where Lucifer's this sweet guy out in L.A., you know, on TV now, and he loves everybody. I mean, these people are really trying to bring in this satanic takeover. And you look at Lady Gaga has to have bodyguards around her at night because she's terrorized by demons and ghosts and screaming and yelling and flopping around. Kesha, all these people have become just conduits of interdimensional evil, whatever you want to call it. It is insane.
If you talk to anyone who does this interdimensional demonic stuff, they conjure faces and they are given their marching orders and speak to people or creatures, whatever it is, goat-headed figures, and I've heard all kinds of
that's what it
stuff.
is. Skip the break.
And they don't have mirrors. They can't sleep. They're terrified now. Think about how much fame would you like? Not you, Alex, just everybody. How much fame? How much money would you like? Would you want to be Prince, who was terrified, who was locked away in Paisley Park in Minnesota? He couldn't get away from those people. What would you like to be Michael Jackson? Would you like to be Elvis? You know, when these people get everything, what do they want to do? They want to get away from it. But this is what they're selling us. This is every TV show aimed at our kids, Alex.
Let me bring this up back to Prince.
Yeah.
So you're saying this wasn't even too long ago he wanted to reach out and come on my show.
It was 2-3 years ago.
Everybody wants to hear tidbits of this. Specifically, what did he say about the New World Order? What did he say about different issues?
I had a TV show off Michigan Avenue. He came in. He put his fingers together like he was praying and put his fingers on his chin and looked at my equipment, looked at the ceiling, looked me up and down, looked around. This went on for quite some time. When we finally had some time, he was very quiet, and he said that, you know, you and Alex Jones are the only ones that are telling it like it is. And he did talk about some parties that he had been to that were, you know, like you said, you can say satanic, you can say Babylonian, however you want to label it. And I've been to these parties. We've talked about on this show before. Okay, so he, you know, he wanted to talk. I had done a piece on the History Channel about fluoride he had seen. He wanted to talk about, you and I have talked about this a lot, the poison in the water that's dumbing us down. Folks, get a water filter. Prince was a big believer in that. And even that, it will seep in through your skin through showers, he felt.
Of course it is.
It was all about neutering us. It was all about dumbing us down. It's all by design. Why don't we get upset? Prince talked about seeing these chemtrails. I've seen it in Chicago, and I've been laughed at and mocked.
By the way, let me play a clip because, I mean, mainstream media will say we made this up. Let's play him on Tavis Smiley a few years ago, 5 years ago. Prince, rare interview, talking about the geoengineering going on chemtrails. Here it is.
This phenomena of chemtrails. And, you know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time and say, oh, that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why.
And that's Prince talking about Dick Gregory. He's been a guest many times on the show talking about geoengineering, social engineering, the fluoride in the water, name it.
Hey, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I did remember something, listening to that, something I remember that he said. And I've heard this a lot, and I've said it to you, and maybe I shouldn't put this out there, but, brother, I got to be very careful here for both of us. But he did give me a warning for you and for me. He felt that you and I should be very, very careful.
I remember you said you talked to Prince, but you couldn't tell me what, and we should try to get him on, but it never happened, I guess. So I guess he came over to your show, but didn't get into all this.
But you're messing with dangerous stuff here, brother. And remember this, as in the times of Noah, and this is it's snowballing now. It's gathering. It's rolling. It's getting worse, isn't it?
My fellow InfoWarriors, I am very excited to be able to announce to you the introduction at InfoWarsLife.com of a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWars Life formulations like Survival Shield X2 and Super Male Vitality. Just go to InfoWarsLife.com today, select your favorite product, click on Auto Ship before adding to cart, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. Every time you choose Auto Ship at InfoWarsLife.com, you get 10% off and you won't have to worry about running out and having to reorder next time. And of course, you can cancel with one click anytime. As you know, I'm all about the idea of a 360 win, and the new auto ship feature at InfoWarsLife.com is a sure win for everybody. A win for liberty, a win for health, and a win when it comes to big savings. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today and save 10% on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting auto ship at checkout. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.